everyone, Lou Vaselli from Team Darley here, and I'm in the Key Hose booth with Mark Lighthill. Mark, tell us what's new with Key.
We have a couple new products out. We've had TRU-ID is one. The TRU-ID concept we brought into play about 3 years ago with the 2.5 TRU-ID. And the reason we brought that in was a demand from the fire service about having an ID that was exactly the size that was on the hose.
Okay.
So the marketing of hose, for example, our combat ready is 1.88, but it's marketed as a 1.75. So with that, what we've done is we've brought back the true complete ID in 2.5 and 1 3/4 inches. And we also brought that concept in with the ability to do a low pressure nozzle with it. So we had to redesign the hose, basically.
So the TRU-ID is primarily for low pressure nozzles?
Primary for low pressure nozzles.
Okay.
And the high pressure nozzles will work with it, Lou, but we put a lot more material in it per foot, per inch. That allows it to be able to handle the lower nozzle pressure.
So our customers are going to be happier if they're using a low pressure nozzle with this product as opposed to just using whatever they used before.
Exactly. This product by having more yarn per inch helps wash the kinks out.
Okay.
So that's the big thing in a fire world is the kinking at the nozzle and kinking behind them.
Right.
So when hose lines kink, they lose water. When they lose water, they lose nozzle pressure, and they start having bad things happen in the fire.
And it really comes down to the firefighters picking the right tool for the job in this case.
Exactly. And so we've got with the nozzle manufacturers, and now what we're doing is we're doing a balanced system because the nozzle and the hose have to work together.
Right. Okay.
So that was the concept of TRU-ID. The next thing that we started looking at was we were starting to look at the delivery of water that the average fire department is using.
Okay.
So the nozzles are starting to dictate that. So now we're starting to develop hose that matches those nozzles. For example, this right here, the 2.5, it matches the 1 3/16 or 300 gallons a minute.
Okay.
And when you match that with a 50 PSI nozzle, that's the sweet spot for this hose. So for a 2.5, you want to flow 300 gallons a minute.
Okay.
Now most fire departments flow 265 or 250.
Okay.
Nozzle reaction comes in. So if I told you I need to flow 300, but you're only flowing 250, well then I got a little bit more water weight you're moving around in hose.
Right.
So 1 3/4 is 160 gallons a minute. That's what it was designed for. Now will it do more or less? Sure.
Right.
But what it was designed to work the best was 160 and 300.
Okay.
So if everybody out there is carrying an 1 8 or a 250 at 50, we built a new hose for that.
Well, let's go have a look at that.
Absolutely, let's go look at it. Well, Lou, this is right now it's a display.
Okay.
So that you can see the difference in 2 1/4, which is the new 2 1/4 product.
Okay.
First off, it's the first size change in a hose to the American Fire Service in a couple of decades.
Right.
Nobody else makes 2 1/4 right now. I'm sure that we're going to, as in demand increases, we're going to have other manufacturers make it. But we introduced 2 1/4. We're the first ones, so it's a dramatically different concept. Okay.
Okay.
So what we have in front of us right here is a 2 1/4 and a 2.5 charged with water.
Okay.
So they're both the same nozzles. They're flowing the exact same GPM. So grab a hold of that 2.5, pick it up and hold it. Couple things. It's massive. It's got a lot of girth.
Right.
But you put your hand around it to go grip it. It takes a pretty good grip to get a hold of.
Right. Unless you have a really large hand, it's hard to hold.
It's hard to hold, and it's heavy.
Right.
And it takes quite a few people because this hose right now, full of water, what you're seeing, that's 140 pounds for every 50 feet of this hose.
Okay, with the water.
With the water. So you have to drag 140 pounds of hose around with you to move from here to there.
Okay.
So now add that up to how many pieces you have behind you, that's a lot of work.
All right, let's look at the 2 1/4.
Look at the 2 1/4. Now pick that up for me.
Significant difference.
Significant difference.
You can feel the weight right away and the grip right away.
Right away. So now if you look, your hand is, if you put your thumb around, you're almost close. So the more grip I can get on the hose, the more manageable I can make it.
Right.
So I'm reducing weight, and I'm going to close the grip down for you.
And this hose is designed for sweet spot with this nozzle.
265.
So we have a better system developed for what we want to flow.
So the correct nozzle pressure, the correct weight of the hose to help offset it, but not more weight than you need to pull around.
Right. Great.
Okay.
Well, Mark,
2 1/4.
thanks very much. We appreciate you telling us about the TRU-ID and the new 2 1/4 inch. If anybody wants any more information on TRU-ID, and especially their 2 1/4 inch, check us out at eDarley.com or keyhose.com. Thanks, everybody.